Hello, I'm Sucheta. Today we are going to talk about mood swing of a child during examination. When I started thinking about this topic, I remembered my student's day. Can you remember your student day? Can you remember that stress, the level of stress you had during your examination? I was super scared of examinations. Why I was scared? Because I was scared of failing and not succeeding. And why I'm narrating this example, because after I was settled in my career, I got an opportunity to go for another examination, and that examination was totally voluntarily given because my career, my finances, and nothing was dependent on it. So I thought of, if I pass, it's okay. If I don't pass, it's absolutely okay. And I studied and I gave that exam. After 2 months, a phone rang. Yes, landline. So phone rang, and I was told by university official, Mumbai University official, that I have topped that particular exam. And then I realized what's the difference. The difference was my head was free of all the garbage called stress and anxiety, and I could totally focus on the learning material, and I could study and imbibe it, internalize it, and give exam. So why not give that particular atmosphere to the child? Now all of you must be wondering that no, we are a very democratic. We always give that type of atmosphere to our child. But how you feel when your child's exam is there? Even if you don't express through non-verbal cues, child gets the message that there is a need to be worried and there is a need to be stressed. We try to imbibe that stress. So how you feel during child's examination, try to find out, try to analyze. Next time your child has examination, just try to analyze how you are feeling. Then the second thing, I want you to recollect what used to happen when you were a student. How was the atmosphere at your house? How your parents used to react? Because the way your parents used to react to you going for examination, no doubt you will tell yourself that I will be very super confident and etc. Doesn't happen. So you need to, conscious parenting is never about a child, it's always about parent. So you need to relieve that baggage, stress, recover, and then you can be the conscious parent. In my book, I have discussed this process of nurturing parent. Nobody talks about nurturing parent. In this book, I have discussed in detail how to nurture yourself to be the conscious parent. Now, once you are clear about what it is, and then you take steps to solve that matter. The first one is free your child of fear of making mistakes and failure. Because if there is a fear of making mistake and failure, child will try to find escape routes. He will try to avoid studies. He will never try to dive deep in that particular learning material to internalize it. He will be always scared. So free them from any fear. So once you do that, then you have to take steps to plan their schedule. Once you start planning your schedule and you start following all the disciplined lifestyle, the child will also automatically will follow the disciplined lifestyle. It will help your career also, as well as it will help child. No doubt the child is 1 year old or 2 year old or 10 year old, child has to have a particular study time, a particular schedule to follow, that this is child's play time and this is child's study time. So whatever, 1 year old child, 2 year old child, whatever the book they can hold, they can jump around, etc. So it's a study time. So start early, start training your child to imbibe that schedule, because scheduling, discipline, everything is very, very important in the successful life. And if your child learns it early, it will be much easier. And when you start scheduling, you have to let go of control. Now, when I'm saying that you have to discipline, see, the conscious parenting believes in the different methods of discipline. What does that mean? That means you are going to make your child decide their schedule. That means which subject they want to study, how they want to study, uh, all the different things, which place they want to study. Let child decide everything about their studies and examination, everything. So once you prepare schedule and everything, it becomes easier. So once they are aware about it, and when they are not scared of making mistake or failure, they feel super confident. So preparation is very, very important. They will feel stressed if they feel they are not perfect. So you are removing that fear out of child's mind, as well as you are imbibing the disciplined attitude among them, so that they work and learn those that particular subject or knowledge. Then the third thing is, we usually work in the office, and home is a place where we have to relax. So many parents, especially young parents, have seen watching Netflix, talking on the phone, and talk on with their friends, socializing, Facebook, YouTube, and child never sees them studying or learning or reading book, etc. Naturally, child is going to feel that it's a fun time. Studying is something which is not fun. Learning, reading is something which is not interesting. So involuntarily you will be passing on that message to your child. So see to it that you develop a habit of reading, studying, and it should be the habit of the household. So child automatically imbibes that household habit of learning, which becomes easier, and it becomes a habit throughout their life, where they keep on learning new things. So see to it that after you come home, no doubt you need time for relaxing, but see to it that the child is also see a child sees you studying and learning and getting new knowledge. Then the next fourth point is, studying is child's responsibility. Many times I have seen, especially in many households, studying has become a parent's responsibility. Child feels that they are obliging parent by studying, which is absolutely wrong work ethics. We are the whole focus is on child, and because we are focusing on the child, we want to protect them, and we want to pamper them, we bubble wrap them, and we never make them responsible. See, self reliance is very, very important. Child has to study, and it's child's responsibility. So right from the young age, it should be imbibed in child's mind that studying is their responsibility. They have to do it, and if they don't do it, if they fail to do it, then they have to face the natural consequences. That is, if they get C grade, they are going to feel bad. However they show that they are not sad, they are going to feel bad. If they get A plus, they are going to feel happy. So use your creativity to inform child that it's their responsibility to study. So it's never your responsibility, it's child's responsibility. And slowly the aim should be, the child should be self-reliant and studying on their own, and should come to you whenever you need it. Okay, so many times I have seen parents doing studies on behalf, projects and everything on behalf of the child. Don't do that. Don't make them dependent on you. Then the next fifth thing is ego. Okay, many times we are so paranoid about child's marks, and whenever we are paranoid, if you dig deeper, you will realize that we are usually doing it from the pressure. We are doing it because that our so-called friend is going to come and find out how much mark my daughter has scored, or your extended family is going to call and find out how much mark your son has scored in his 10th standard exam or 5th standard exam. So they are ego, they are working through their ego, and because they are working through their ego, we make our child run a race, and in that process of managing our ego and their ego, we are damaging our children. So see to it that you are not working through your ego. Let other children be there. Your child is very precious, so never work through your ego. It's absolutely fine. Your child is your responsibility. No one is going to come and help you if your child faces any problem. So absolutely let go of the ego. Then the next sixth one is average child is also fine. See, once the child understands the concept, they are going to learn. Once they develop the liking for the subject, they are going to learn. So take help of specialized teachers. So many times what I have seen, since I'm from teaching field, I have seen that many teachers are not able to explain the subject properly, and because they are not able to explain, the child faces problem, and that child is not succeeding in exam. So why to focus only on child? Focus on the teaching quality, whether your child is able to understand the concept. If the child is not able to understand the concept, take help, take special, outsource the material, etc., outsource the services. You teach your child anything. See to it that the child able to understand the concept, and so that he is never or she is never scared of the exam. And one more thing, very important thing is, many time ordinary children have done an extraordinary thing. You know, the data shows that there is no connection between academic success and the life success. There might be some people who might have become successful, but because they were equally good in life skills. So developing those life skills in your child should be your main goal, and not just academic success. So my request to all of you is, understand your child, what your child is, what is their capacity. Let go of fear of failure and mistakes from your mind first, and once it leaves your mind, automatically through your verbal and non-verbal cues, child also will get same message, and they will also be free and fearless because to the exam. Thank you. Be a conscious parent.